Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare So when Acharya Prabhu told me that, can you give, actually, first, I was supposed to give class with Mukund Lila Prabhu and his group. So I was like feeling safeguard, like Mukund Lila Prabhu also will be sitting, we can both give the class, we can share. But then Prabhu told Mukund Lila Prabhu will be sharing his experience in the bus, and then you only have to give class. So it became a little more anxiety for me. And I thought, but as Ganges, like when it's flowing, it has a lot of water, and we take some water from it and just offer back to Ganges, right? So I thought, okay, whatever I heard from my Shiksha Guru, Acharya Prabhu, Vijwasabu, and other devotees, like senior devotees, I can just recall something from what I heard from them and just share back as an offering of gratitude. Um, yeah, so please bless me so that I can speak something for my purification and for the pleasure of devotees. Um, I was told to read like the Bhagavatam verse is 10.62.11, right? Should be. So I'll be reading these like 5 verses. Um, so this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 62. And Ajay, so the chapter name is Aniruddha, the meeting of Usha and Aniruddha. And we will be covering a verse starting from verse 11. So let me read the verse. Like there are 5 verses, so should we recite each verse? Okay, okay. So 11th verse. Losing sight of him in her dream, Usha suddenly sat up in the midst of her girlfriends, crying out, "Where are you, my lover?" She was greatly disturbed and embarrassed. The next verse. Banasur had a minister named Kumbhabana, whose daughter was Chitralekha, a companion of Usha's, and she was filled with curiosity, and thus she inquired from her friend. Verse 13. Chitralekha said, "Who are you searching for, O fine browed one? What is this hankering you are feeling? Until now, O princess, I have not seen any man take your hand in marriage." Verse 14. Usha said, "In my dream, I saw a certain man who had a dark blue complexion, lotus eyes, yellow garments, and mighty arms. He was the kind who touches woman's heart." Verse 15. So we're going till 16, right? Verse 15. "It is that lover I search for. After making me drink the honey of his lips, he has gone elsewhere, and thus he has thrown me, hankering fervently for him, into the ocean of distress." Verse 16, you can recite. Chitralekha Vacha, Lekha Vacha, Vaisnam te apakarshami, Vaisnam te apakarshami, Trilokyam yadi bhavyate, Tam aneshyam varam yaste, Aneshe naram yaste, Manoharta tam adisha, Adisha, Chitralekha Vacha, Vaisnam te apakarshya Vaisnam te apakarshami te Tilokam yadi bhavyate tab aneshye varam yaste manoharta tam adisha chitralekha vacha Vaisnam te apakarshyami te apakarshyami Tilokam yadi bhavyate tab anishye varam yaste manoharta tam adisha. Adisha. Anybody like to read? Lekha avacha asnam te apkarashami trilokyam.
Brahmyaste Manoharta Tamadisha Chitralekha Vacha Vasnam Te Apakashyami Tilokyam Yadi Bhavyate Maranse Varamyaste Manoharta Tamadisha. Mataji's Chitralekha Vacha Vasnam Te Apakashyami Tilokyam Yadi Bhavyate Ramanishevaram Yaste No Harta Tamadisha. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Interestingly, the name Chitralekha indicates a person skilled in the art of drawing and painting. Chitra means excellent or variegated, and Lekha means the art of drawing and painting. Chitralekha, as described in following verse, will now utilize the talent indicated by her name. Oh, translation, sure. Chitralekha said, I will remove your distress. If he is to be found anywhere in the three worlds, I'll bring this future husband of yours who has stolen your heart. Please show me who he is. There's one more purport actually we can read in the verse 11. Or, verse 11. Purport. Coming to her senses and remembering that she was surrounded by her girlfriend, Usha was naturally very embarrassed to have cried out in that way. At the same time, she was disturbed by attachment to the beloved man who had appeared in her dream. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टके कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयंरूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति सपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातान् सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुवैव च द्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तविंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So when I was reading this chapter, like first of the verse that came in this chapter is Prakshi Maharaj is asking, there was a uh, interesting event happened where Lord Shiva fighting with Lord Krishna. And this is 10th canto towards the second half of 10th canto, means like when Prakshit Maharaj had 7 days to leave his body, he already knew that he had 7 days. So it should be already like more than around the 6th day probably. So fifth day was our ninth canto, and when Sukdev Goswami told actually Lord Krishna's pastime in two verses, in the end of the ninth canto, when description of descendants or the dynasty of Sun dynasty and the Moon dynasty was given. So in that, towards the end, like Sukdev Goswami was telling about Vishnu dynasty and like how Vasudev Anagdundubi was there, and then like through Devaki he had 6 sons, and Lord Balaam case as plenary expansion, and then Lord Krishna, Lord Hari himself came, and Lord from the pastime which are inconceivable even for Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva to comprehend. And then in one verse, Sukadeva Goswami told like how Lord Krishna performed wonderful pastime as a child in the house of Devaki and Nand Maharaj and Yashoda, and they killed so many demons, and then went to Dwarka, married like Mathura, I think got skipped there, but went to Dwarka, married so many wives, and then had killing of like this instigated this war where like so many uh, like adharmic kings were annihilated or destroyed. So two verses basically the whole pastime from birth to like almost towards the winding of the pastime was covered. And then Parikshit Maharaj was thinking like, this is what I was waiting for to hear Krishna's pastime from the very beginning now. And Sukadeva Goswami ended very fast. So then Parikshit Maharaj requests actually in the beginning of the 10th canto that please describe in detail the pastimes of Lord Krishna. That's what he was reading. निवृत्त तर्षे उपगीयमाना भव औषधे श्रोत्र मनोभिरामक उत्तम श्लोक गुणानुवाद पुमान वर्जिते बिना पशुघ्न. So this pastime is Shotra Manobhirama is very wonderful to hear to our ears and mind. So Sukadeva Goswami is very like was very pleased to hear like um, the eagerness to hear like from Parikshit Maharaj, and Parikshit Maharaj also tells like now he's not feeling any hunger and thirst. Earlier when he was in the forest due to some hunger only or thirst actually, uh, he actually by some like mistake he put some snake on the sage, Samik Rishi, and then he got the curse, and then he was repenting and he understood like yeah, so like, he was repenting like he has put the snake, and then let the reaction come now itself rather than later on. And then he got the news like 7 days you have to wind up, so he immediately left everything and went to the shores of the Ganges where all the sages are assembled, and he was asking the question, what is the best of the thing that a person can live in this during the life, and as well as what is the duty of a person who's about to die. Very relevant question for all of us, because who can say that we are not about to die. Die is happening, is a process, and is happening at every second. Our body is changing every second. In fact, after every 7 years we get the totally new body, um, from the childhood to boyhood to old age, like the body is always changing. And like here Prakshit Maharaj have 7 days notice at least. Fortunate, we don't know like how much time we had. So it's very relevant question. Like during the life, what we should be doing, and of course at the time of death, what one should be meditating. So yesterday we heard from His Grace Acharya Prabhu like the answer that Sukadeva Goswami told Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma Bhagwan Ishwaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitavya Smartavya Kirtitavya Ya Achata. What is the last verse? Achata Ichata Bhayam. So one who is designing fearlessness should be hearing hearing chanting and then ismering like basically remembering the pastimes of the Lord. So the hearing is good, and then when we are chanting the holy names, the automatic process that happens is the constant remembrance of the Lord. So that is a symptom of good hearing and chanting, is that one can remember the Lord's name from pastimes. And I think yesterday or day before yesterday, when Radheshampu was addressing all of us in that meeting, like I was very touched by his one point that we have so many holes in our body, And if our body is actually has a lot of pores, our skin has a lot of pores. So whichever environment we go, like it absorbs the environment. So we should fill our like ears, eyes, nose with the like name from or the pastimes of the Lord, like the leelas of the Lord. And by that, like one does not feel hankering for material consumption or this consumerism by itself. So when we go to many of the temples, we see the Lord's pastimes, leelas are depicted even on the walls and like pillars and everywhere, like many of the pastimes. And it's interesting to see those dioramas and many pictures like depicting the Lord's pastime. So that was the regular like mode of pleasure or entertainment as well. Like they didn't feel a need of watching some football match or cricket match and everything. They used to just gather together in the evening, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord's pastime. Um, so this eagerness to hear the Lord's pastime, we can see Parikshit Maharaj is very much eager, and in that last chapter like Sukdev Goswami told like Aniruddha married his wife, the bride, and then they fulfilled all their mission. They wanted whatever they wanted to fulfill. And then again, Parikshit Maharaj says, please go into details. What exactly happened there? Because there's some interesting, this event of Aniruddha marrying Usha like led to a battle between Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna. And although he knew that Lord Shiva is a Vaishnavas, Vaishnava Nams Yatha Sambhu, like how come that battle has happened? So he wanted to go over details of that. Um, so that's where Sukdev Goswami went into details, and we hear that Banasur is the son of Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj is one of the 12 Mahajanas. In the Leela of Vamandev, when Vamandev appeared, he asked for 3 steps of the land, and although he's like Bali Maharaj, so-called spiritual master, like that time Sukracharya told actually don't promise those 3 steps of land because he already kind of seen like or was predicting that uh, like everything will be gone from you. He's Lord Narayana himself. And then Bali Maharaj used his intelligence. He saw Guru, Sadhu, Shastra connection and check and balance and find out if it is matching the sadhus or the Shastri instructions. And he told like everything we do, all the yajnas we do is for the pleasure of Lord Narayana. And if he's coming himself asking for alms or like for the donation, then one should not hesitate. So then he promised, and of course, Lord Vamandev become Trivikrama form and cover the whole universe. So we see that full surrender, like Atmanivedan Acharya is here, like Bali Maharaj. Now his son is doesn't have that propensities. Like he's kind of different. He has more of enjoyment and demonic mentality, Banasur. And we hear the other pastime where Narkashur, like he's the son of um, Varhadev and like the earth. When Lord Varadev came, like they had the son Narkasur, but he initially was like a devotee, and then but he because of the association of Banasur, he also became demonic, and then later on there was a fight. Lord Krishna has to kill basically Narkasur, and similarly there is a pastime with the Davida, gorilla. Which one? No, gorilla. Davida, I think. Or gorilla. Yeah. He also he was in Lord Ram pastime, and then he became demonic or like forgot Lord Krishna. There was Jamban. No? Okay, Jamban. Ajay, David also. Jamban also had association. They fought. Yeah, he forgot Lord Krishna. He fought. Somewhere I thought like David Agora also had association of Banaswa and he also became demonic. Okay, so association has a lot of effect basically. Whatever we associate, we become like that. In fact, we used to hear in our like classes like, tell me who are your friends and I will tell you who you are. Because your friend circle kind of gives an indication what kind of personality you have. And so here Banasur had that enjoyment mentality, and he was worshiping. He was worshiping Lord Shiva. whether it's a devotee or not, we have to find out, because bhakti has its own definition. Anyabhlashita sunyam gyan karma navritam anukulena krishna nusilna bhakti uttama. And you should not be with the motivation to get something from the Lord, right? But we see when uh, with a enjoying mentality, when they approach Lord Shiva to get some benediction or some boon to enjoyment, like basically they try to go to demigods more, because Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu may not, you can keep on performing that thing, but if it's not good for you, it will not be given. And what will be given is like what is beneficial for our upliftment. Even if it's a distress, but it helps us to grow in our spiritual path, then actually that will be given. So Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna take care of that. But in case of demigods, like they give a real mercy and a like cheating mercy. Cheating mercy in the sense like if somebody has a mentality to enjoy or get some material benefits, so demigods does give that, and they are supposed to give. It's like going to a shop and then giving a price, then the shopkeeper has to give you that product. Similarly, demigods are bound to give. But really, the demigods become more pleased when one asks for help to actually progress in devotional service. We see like gopis worshipping Katyayani, Mother Katyayani in Vrindavan. Similarly, prachetas, when they were given instruction to perform austerities, uh, they were just deciding to worship Lord Narayana. And just by that uh, like a motivation or like determination to go and please Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva became very pleased, and he appeared from the lake and told like, I am very pleased with somebody who even determined or have a thought that I want to worship Lord Vishnu, and he gave uh, uh, the Rudra Gita, where like he told like if you chant these prayers, then Lord Vishnu will be very pleased. So we see that is the real mercy of Lord Shiva, and he himself actually chants name of Lord Ram. In Vishnu Sahasranam, we see that Parvati is asking like, there's 1,000 name of Lord Vishnu, and if I cannot recite, hard to recite. If one is not able to recite all 1,000 names, then how can one derive the same benefit? So Lord Shiva tells the Shri Ram Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahas Ram Atutulyam Ram Rama Varaname. One name of Lord Ram is equivalent to 1,000 name of Lord Vishnu. So we can see the Lord Shiva actually is always sitting in the very like yogi posture and having beads in his hand, and he's chanting the holy name of Lord Ram. And in fact, Hanuman is also a Anshavatar of Lord Shiva, and we can see, as you were hearing from Acharya Prabhu yesterday, like how he is Atulit Bal Dhyanam, or like he has a lot of strength, a lot of capabilities, uh, and he can perform a lot of uh, like very hard tasks also he can perform. So bodily strength is also there. At the same time, he is very intelligent also. He's very humble also and has a lot of devotion and surrender to Lord Ram. So that is like combination, having lot of potencies or capabilities, at the same time be very humble and having a devotion to Lord is a very good combination. In fact, if somebody has that, that means they are really blessed. Like Dhruva, he is also was a king when Dhruva was given benediction. Lord Vishnu told actually you will be living for many years. I forgot the exact years, but many long years you will be here in the kingdom, and you will have all your bodily strength will continue. You'll not have, you'll not see old age, and at the end of your life you'll come back, go back to God, and come back to me basically. So we see his life also like that. Prakshit Maharaj is also like that. Like he is very capable, and he expanded the kingdom that he got from Pandavas, and at the same time he performed full devotional service with a mood of service to Lord Krishna, and he's not attached to those like the position or the paraphernalias and everything, because as soon as he heard that he is going to leave, he left everything without turning back and focused all his attention on like hearing from the saints and asking the right question. Um, So in this pastime, we see that Banasura is very protective of his daughter, and he has created like this, like the chambers and everything where that the daughter is protected, which is very good actually. In the Vedic culture, these like it's recommended that the woman should be protected, should have a shelter under her father or her brother or her husband. In the old age, if the husband is going to vanaprastha, then one should be under the like care or protection of her son and children. So the women is need to be protected, and it is artificial for like women to go out and then try to be not under any protection or shelter and then get exploited in the material world. Um, Similarly, Brahmanas need to be protected because they are very simple and sometimes they're detached, so they may not care for the basic necessities. So Kshatriyas need to protect the Brahmanas, and similarly, the old people and the childrens need to be protected. So Vedic culture is about having proper shelter for everyone so that they can advance in their Krishna consciousness. So here also, like Banashur is doing his duty, and the the Usha actually she saw Lord Shiva once amorous dealing with Uma like basically Mother Parvati, and she felt the same inclination to have that association. So and it's natural for the young girl who's matured and want to have association with her husband. That's why in the Vedic culture also, as soon as like they reach a certain age, after puberty, basically they were get married. Even now we see some of the relatives, the old relatives, like they used to get married much earlier. They didn't wait for like even like 25, 30, like within 20s, like they used to get married, and that way they are set in the life and they are sheltered. Um, so see now like here Usha is not like she's not like trying to impress somebody. She's looking for her husband association, not that she is trying to like in the modern world like trying to get attention of some boys or some by wearing some different clothes like tight clothes or something like that. So she is looking for basically get association of her husband, which is a natural inclination. And there is a basically there is a ashram, the grasta ashram is meant for that, where both the husband and wife take shelter of the ashram and then help each other to advance in Krishna consciousness, right? So she had that inclination, and Mother Parvati actually, because she's conscious of everyone's hurt, so she understood Usha has that inclination, and she informed her that on the 12th day of the fortnight, on the Shukla Paksh, you'll get a dream and you'll get the association of your husband. So she was able to get that association, and then when she left the dream, she was not able to get. Then she was hungry for that association. So these all were natural. And Chitralekha, we hear she had not only good skills of drawing, different painting of like different like kings and like men who are there around during their time. So she um, made the painting of like Gandharvas, like Channas and Siddhas and everything, and the current kings, many kings of the Vishnu kings. And then when it went to Pradyumna, like she became Sai because Sisa has her father-in-law, and then Aniruddha, like she told, like he's the one. So she had this capability of depicting the face, as well as she had the mystic powers to go from one place to another place through some shortcuts. So it says through the skies he went there and bought Anida back. How much time we have, Bhavji? Like 42, right? So we have to conclude in 20 minutes, or how much? Questions. So should we cover also the KGP things here, or like? Okay, let. श्री गौर निताय भगवान की जय. Yeah, um, so here we see that when Chitralekha bought Aniruddha back, and they were like they were able to get association each other, then somehow the news went to the Banasuru, and he become very disturbed. It is reasonable that when he see that the chambers are there and some intruder is there, he become agitated and he put in the, he captured him and put in like. I think earlier he sent some of the like some Sainiks and everything, and they were killed, and then he bound him and put into prison. So it is natural. Like if he has made some securities and some intruder is there, so he will get angry and put it. But the problem is he stopped there. He didn't go into details of why it has happened. What was the series of events which happened, and he didn't took the like he didn't take care of the details basically of the incidents. Yesterday we were talking about or discussing about these value systems. So this value system and our role and responsibilities also change over the period of time. Like what roles we has as a kid, now as a youth, as a student, or as a working person, the values are sometimes different. Like earning money is not a value in the childhood. We are dependent on the parents and everything. But then after one has responsibility, earning money or like having a proper career and everything becomes one of the value system. Um, so here the value system of a girl, right? As a small girl, she values are like getting taken, basically having attachment to the toys and playing with her girlfriends of the similar ages and everything. But as she grows and reaches maturity age, like her value system is to get association of her husband, which is reasonable and basically is part of the Vedic culture. So, as a authority or as a protector of Ushas, he is need to be sensitive to that. Need to take care like that association is also needed, um, and if there is a delay, then sometimes the girl chooses her husband. Many times we see in the case of Rukmani, see although like Rukmi and other like her father and the brother, they actually um, chose another person, Shishupal in this case, I think, to marry Rukmani. But Rukmani had her own heart given to Lord Krishna because he had the pastimes of Lord Krishna, many qualities and the form of Lord Krishna from her friends. So she has already given her heart to Lord Krishna and wanted to marry her. So uh, but when the father, like the Rukmi, actually out of enviousness to Lord Krishna, also is decided that, then she wrote the letter for Lord Krishna to come, and if he doesn't come, then she will basically leave her body, like that. So she was very clear that whom she want to marry, and the protector, or like in case of like here, the guardians of the person need to basically sensitive to the choices of the person. So similar things may come into the like counselee, or like authority versus the person who's working under authority. Initially, as we were discussing, initially like one is given a particular seva, what to do, and very exact details. But later on, uh, like we were hearing from Radheshyam Prabhu, like Srila Prabhupada initially was giving exact things, but once one has certain years in Krishna consciousness, then one is asked what you like to do, what is your inspiration, and what kind of activity inspires you, right? So that kind of helping out, seeing the flame, and then fanning that flame so that one can basically according to our guna and karma, like basically the sabhav. There is a particular sabhav we has, each of us has, and particular skills and a particular inclination or desire to serve Krishna in a certain way. So that need to basically manifest, and one feel a lot of satisfaction and fulfillment and connection to Krishna when we actually align our role and responsibilities in that direction, which is natural for us as well. So basically, the authorities also basically need to be sensitive to that aspect and making sure that we like that is cultivated. And we are very fortunate that we have that system here. Radheshampu and Acharyapu and many other devotees, like they always try to find out what is your inspiration, how you like to serve, and then accordingly give that kind of basically facilitate our service to Krishna. So I feel very fortunate that way that we are into that mature, uh, uh, care. I have not seen that much like care and attention in so many other places as I visited many places, but here it's very we are very fortunate that we have that. So in this case, coming back to the story, so Banasur didn't go into details, and again, like there was a fight and lot many details which is going to come after this. Um, so this is one point that I was thinking after like Parikshit Maharaj, and then this point of association, um, the Usha, who actually when she saw Lord Shiva and Parvati, she also built that inclination. So similarly, based on what kind of association we have and what interaction we have, we basically are also develop particular desire, inclination, and habits in the same direction. Um, so in my case, actually, just a little bit, I'll share from my own like coming to Kharagpur in Ashram devotees. So in 2000, I saw Rasikanand Prabhu was giving that device slideshow, and I asked some question, but my priorities were a little different that time. And I was just observing devotees, like as Mukund Lila Prabhu, Advaita Kripa Prabhu, and Antadip Prabhu was going to Mayapur. So I was just observing, this group is like, and I had very nice friend, Pam Shrikant. He was in the same department. We have the same labs, and yeah, and his nature I really liked, like very calm, cool, and devotional. And he used to play Vishnu Sahasranam many times and Suprabhat, like morning prayers, like. And he used to share like how when he was growing, like in the morning, the temple was having Kaushalya, Subra, Ram, Pura, Sandhya, Pravartate. Like that was the morning prayers used to play. So in the north we also have, but different like Hanuman Chalisa and like we have like Tulsi Ramayana and everything. So, but it's the same thing. Lord Ram pastime basically, and Lord Vishnu pastime. So I was really touched by that, and I was looking for spirituality as well, like yoga, meditation. I had many options like badminton, table tennis, NCC, and everything. So I just chose NSCC yoga, and for that I did some exercise so that they choose me go inside and all. And then eventually, what happened in the second year? Um, I didn't want to go to before that, like even like KGP Kharagpur, like first year when I went and came through this like places. Kharagpur is the longest station, but once you go inside, you are disappointed. At least to the gate of IIT campus, like I was thinking, like where I come, and I made the same. I think I don't know mistakes or happened by destiny, as Mukund Lila Prabhu was telling. Like I also had like numbering, like you have a rank and then you tell like preferences, which department, which university you have to go, and I filled it, and somehow I wanted to go to Delhi actually, and I did Delhi in some electronics department, and it was like I could have get it, but I just put it down, and somehow E in Kharagpur went up, and whatever come first, you get that. You don't have a second choice. So and I submitted it, and after that I was thinking, why did I submit KGP there? I put it down, Delhi put it down, but KGP is up, and later I got that one. So finally, it like as the time goes, I understood like it's all Krishna Regiment Association of Devotees I got in Kharagpur. So I feel grateful I made that mistake. Similarly, in the first year to second year, like first we had all the same halls, and then second year, um, I didn't want to go to a particular hall called LLR, Lala Lajpat Rai Hall. The reason is the one batch was missing there. The students had some fighting with another hall, Patel Hall, and then the dean or dosa. Yeah, so one of the batch was banned. So they had one layer of seniors which was not there. Other places had. So I wanted to be in association of those senior batches and didn't want to go to that particular hall because that is missing one. And somehow it happened like there is. I tried some ways, but then finally I got LLR hall only. So I was again disappointed. Okay, I came to this hall, but then to my wonderful surprise, uh, Pam Shikant Prabhu was there, Mukund Lila Prabhu was there, Antadeep Prabhu was there, and I think later Rajshekhar Prabhu was also there, Ram Sekhar Prabhu also there. So all like many of these extraordinary devotees was there in, and we shared the almost the same rooms. And in fact, after the third year, we all together went to the same line. Like we are having the same rooms, like next to next. So somehow, sometimes we think like this is not good. I don't want to do that, but we are forced against our will. But then we find out, okay, this was the wonderful thing that has happened to us, and it's all by Krishna's arrangement. If I am some other place, I may not have that close association of devotees. Um, um, yeah, so in second year basically I was involved into many other activities like this secretary, that secretary, this election and everything, just to get exposure, because like 2 3 years went into JE studies and all. entering into corporate. We do programs or Gita clubs through that. So I got an opportunity to like serve Maharaj through this journey home. During the journey home, like uh, there was a goal to make it bestseller, New York bestseller, and that the certain number of copies need to be distributed within, I think, few weeks. So every area there were like coordinators and events planned out when before the book was released. Um, so I was taking care of the Bay Area, and then like this corporate events and book launching in the corporate and Stanford. So there's a big hall in the Stanford, about 300 people it can get, and so a lot of copies get distributed there. So I was able to get that service where, like, that was the need of the time also to do the service, and I was getting fully satisfied, fulfilled that I was able to serve that way. And we had a team also, like of devotees doing so many things, like coordinate programs and do corporate events in different companies, um, and invite Maharaj to do that. And through that, like while doing service, get association. Like when we going from one program to another, I get service to drive Maharaj different programs, and in between, like take the prasadam cooked by congregation devotees. And sometimes what happened, like we're going from one Intel program, we're going to this UC Berkeley, and there was a department of religious studies. So if you hear Prabhupada pastime, like one, like they're sitting in the garden and some professor are sitting and they're asking question, and Prabhupada is telling, God, you have like who can, God will come, if not, by death he can show you, and then professors. So there is actually UC Berkeley professors, and they had a idea at that time, like to start a uh, like a department of religious studies focused on Vaishnavism or Gaudiya Vaishnavism theology. So that was a like a much, like basically it was a task to be done. And there is another Hindu organization called Dharma Civilization Foundation. So with that, and Maharaj had was also in part of this religious studies. So Maharaj was meeting the dean of religious studies there, and from the Mandala publisher, he took an encyclopedia on Hindu studies and was basically giving as a gift to the dean of religious studies. So I was driving in between, like there was a break, and somewhere we basically took the prasadam under a tree in a park. So, uh, so what I'm saying, like, is Maharaj has a very simple heart. Although he reaches out to people whom we cannot imagine. Like he has access to the best. Like in LA, when Maharaj is there, he goes to like all different like celebrities and these Hollywood people, and he stays in their house. But when it comes to like natural dealings, he becomes very simple and able to relate to anybody. Even the when goes to through securities, the peons are there or the security guard are there. Maharaj can relate to them, and talk to them and win their heart, and then also talk to like president and all these different CEOs and everybody also. One time in New York, I was in Bhakti Center, and there was a fully jam-packed program whole day. And I saw Maharaj was just passing by the kitchen, and Maharaj was just in a very light mood, was singing Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, like that, or just Radhe Radhe, like that. So very simple. Like although there is so much stress and program end to end, but Maharaj is in different mood. And one time when we were coming in the evening, there is a lift that goes to, because like almost a fourth floor Maharaj apartment, like where Maharaj stays. So I thought like we'll go with the lift. So Maharaj, no, we'll go with the stairs. He doesn't believe in these machines too so much. Um, and it happened to me also. Like we had the GPS actually. When we drive from one place to another, I used to depend on GPS more. And one time when Maharaj, I was driving, that GPS didn't work. I think battery got discharged and I didn't have a charger or something happened and I was confused where to go. So Maharaj sensed it on me after some time. This person is confused about direction. So the Maharaj told, you should tell me when you need direction. And then well, I was feeling, I should ask Maharaj where to go. So Maharaj called somebody and then they told, and Maharaj has a copy and pen and Maharaj wrote, go this many miles, go take this turn and take this for highway. So then Maharaj guided me, take this highway. So all the GPS didn't work. The Maharaj guide worked there. At the end, I told like, sorry, I should have like put some proper charging mechanism or prepared the night before. Actually, the night before there was a Stanford Journey Home book launch, and many books went. It became very night and winding up and everything. In the morning, I was supposed to take Maharaj from one place to another. So something got skipped there, and that is the GPS part, which hit me next day. So Maharaj told, like, whenever we take a service, one should be diligent and prepare fully for it. Like, should not be like these gaps because that will hurt the services. So I thought, okay, I should take only that service which I can do if the quality as well. So, yeah. So I can see Maharaj actually goes into like the details. The attention to details is there. He's very precise about what he's doing. Then he covers the whole thing there. Um, yeah, like that. There's so many small incidences. One time we were going to Intel program, and on the way after getting down, on the way Maharaj asked, "Now you tell me, if you compare computer with a human being, what is mind, what is brain, and what is food with the computer?" So there's a processor, there's a memory, there's a power. So match the following, which one is the brain, which one is the mind. So I did whatever I could, a little bit. Processor seems to be brain, memory is like a memory, and the power is this, and then face is this laptop thing. Okay, and later on Maharaj was giving his part and the whole talk. But like Maharaj sees the place and the audience and accordingly give the talks to connect fully with them. Like that I see. Like he's coming to the semiconductor industry, he connect to semiconductors. He was giving in Apple one program and he told like, first thing he told like, this journey home within I typed on Apple MacBook and I had a spiritual experience there. So the whole Apple employees and HR were flat, they were clapping like anything. That was our MacBook where the journey home was typed and everything. So like that, like Maharaj catches the like what to speak at a particular like time and like how to bring people in. A lot of humor also in between. Uh, One event was there when there was a disciple meet and is a evening open program was there. There was a helicopter going on the top. So Maharaj told, when you are in 60s, you need to cooperate with helicopters. So I was telling, it's a distraction in the program, but yeah. Then he let it go, and then later the program will start. Was addressing. So one thing I feel in Maharaj priorities, like he very much prioritize his relationship with his god brothers or god sisters, basically. Very high priority. Maharaj like spend time with. So in Bay Area we have Vaishashika Prabhu there, and he's a very exemplary devotee. Like I mean, his dedication, Srila Prabhupada is like a mountain for us, like a small ant somewhere. But he's like the way he's dedicated to Srila Prabhupada and doing book distribution. Prabhupada is most pleased with their service. So he's leading the whole world right now in ISKCON all over the world. Like how is and inspiring all the devotees to do book distribution and do record breaking almost every year. And Maharaj really love association with Vaishikapu and he stays together. So even if he's coming for 2 days, they make one day for themselves and go to Redwood Forest. There's a big, tall trees there in the Redwood Forest. Maybe you can hear also lecture in some of the lecture. Maharaj gives stories about Redwood Forest and the events happen there. So every year when Maharaj comes, like if it is 3 days, 1 day is there, 2 days, 1 day is there, and 1 day means 1 day is there. So that is the highest thing. Other things we'll see if the program can be done, other things can be done. So that is always there. Yeah, so their redwood forests have many also pastimes. Maharaj Veshikapu together, and when Maharaj come back, and then he addressed the whole congregation with the stories from the redwood forest. Maybe it like mouse going into near the like some hole, or even like the how big trees and how it survived, and how the nets of the roots are intertingled with each other to create a strength of the trees, right? So many lessons from there. Yeah. So I feel I'm taking it too much. There's so many things keep going, but any other? Did it answer anything, Prabhu? Like, yeah, there are many pictures actually I can show sometimes. You can show some.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so sometimes when the program ends, I shows like what we are doing in Stanford, like how sometimes Giriraj Maharaj, Devarat Maharaj, we invite and do program with them. So Maharaj like it very much. Like we are not only just serving a particular thing. Whenever his god brothers comes, I try to serve them and take their blessings. So watering the seed when Giriraj Maharaj had this book launch, like we had the watering of seed also like there, and the Bhakti Vikas Maharaj came, then we had a program there like that. So this is a consciousness cooking, conscious cooking basically. Uh, like through the cooking classes basically we attract a lot of like all different uh, people like in the Stanford, like all different countries citizens are there, so they get attracted by. So prasadam is the highest, although five elements, five like activity or devotional service is the highest, but prasadam really attracts and give a sukirtis. So we used to do that program through which a lot of people come, and then next day is to go to some yoga or Gita classes. Yeah, so there's something like that. So this is with Hanumat Preksa Maharaj, I think. Oh no, this is Hridyanand Maharaj, yes. Science and Spirituality. Very intellectual talk there in Stanford. 2012. Then there's a Bhakti Yoga Club. I mean, regular programs. So this in 2012, our world time for a positive change. So Maharaj gives the example of that one time, during the time the oil was protruding and it was polluting some of the ocean. So Maharaj was telling about ecology, like it is pollution there because there is a pollution in the heart, and we need to clean the ecology of the heart, like that. Uh, yeah, there is. Yeah, there's general program obviously. 3 minutes with a genius. I think this one is Hanavati Pekshan. Yeah, Gorangpo visit there, then we do program with Gorangpo. This again during the time. This is Michael Kirimo, Forbidden Archaeology. He has the whole book. So yeah, Dutta Karma Prabhu. Then Devarat Maharaj comes, and of course Radhana Maharaj, Engineering a Better World. This was in 13. Yeah, there are few of those programs. Uh, yeah, this is one of the presentation like in Dallas I had. So 13 or 14. Yeah, I somehow saw like an article in 67. Prabhupada went to Stanford and had a program there. So ancient trance dance featured by Swami's visit to Stanford. That was Prabhupada event actually. So feel fortunate like we are able to continue that legacy. And this is just year by year. 9 something happened, 10 something happened, 11 something happened, 13. A lot of details in this, but yeah. how we started. Oh, okay. So that was just Arizona State, you know. So we had this like similar program what we do in like in Kharagpur, like getting like students together in the room and then have like discussion on different topics, MMC kind of thing, but more of discussion. And then San Jose University, and we had an initial team of devotees like who were dedicated. Uh, so there's a core team and then growing organically. That was the two things we took. And the way the three levels how the outreach was happening is like first the cooking class, prasadam, short talks, and the kirtan. So prasadam and kirtan is the most important part there, and then some yoga exercises, mantra meditation, and then prasadam, and then we bringing senior devotees and having a talk with them like Vaishikapu or anybody, any visiting senior devotees. So that's how people basically get fixed up. Uh, more details about how cooking class happens, yoga class happens, and Gita studies. Um, yeah, that's just mostly details. But these are some pictures like how the cooking class was happening, like uh, in general. Cooking and philosophy is combined. Like a lot of philosophy can combine with the like cooking. How the consciousness is a part of the cooking, and when we eat offered food, then it helps us to get sukritis. Yeah, there was article in one of the newspaper on these things. You know, one time when Bhakti Kohas Maharaj there, and then yoga and kirtans. Science of soul. Akrunath Prabhu also like in the same place there. And book distribution. Basically. Gita Jayanti having a program, and then we had a Bhakti center where we used to have like morning program and full like cooking and others. Sankirtan, yeah, and then meeting senior devotees. Yeah, these are just some, I think. I think mostly we covered. So there is one nice picture of like in the center. It was in 2013 or 14. You can recognize, I think, Dikshit Prabhu. Now he's initiated name Damodar Vilas Prabhu, Harivansa Prabhu. Who else you might recognize? Yeah, I think here is Veshika Prabhu, Nirukla Mataji, like that. I think that's mostly it. Or maybe.
Thank you very much, Sri Govinda Prabhu. His
Hare
grace,
Krishna.
Sri Govinda Prabhu ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna.
We also, because both Govinda Prabhu and Mataji are living, maybe Mataji can also speak few minutes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hare Krishna to all Prabhujis and Matajis present here. So I'm very much honored and elated to get all of your association, such exemplary senior Vaishnavas. And really, I'm humbled. And I feel that I'm wasting all of your time by speaking here. I would have loved to hear all of your personal experiences and I heard little bit about how your journey and foray into Krishna consciousness was, and from the KGP, IIT KGP. So, and yesterday, His Grace Acharya Ratna Prabhu had a word and instructed us that you should speak little bit about your personal experience. Though I feel a lot of reservations and I feel that I'm not worthy of speaking in such an exemplary association of Vaishnavas and senior devotees, but as an humble offering to Srila Prabhupada and for the pleasure of Gaur Nitai and the devotees, I would like to speak something. about my foray into Krishna consciousness. So basically, I was very fortunate to have a very cultured, spiritually potent background in the form of my parents being devotees. They we actually had our studies and upbringing in Delhi. So, but in spite of that, my parents, they were very focused on getting association of devotees there. So being from South Indian background, so we had a Tamil Sangha group there in Delhi. So we used to associate on like weekends, during weekends. So that's how my childhood went. So every weekends and Saturday, Sundays, so we used to have Vishnu Sahasranama there, like chanting and like Manglacharan prayers there. So that's how that seed of bhakti was placed in like, during my childhood by my parents. So I'm very much, yeah, grateful for that. And yeah. So, and the second, like, I would say now I'm recollecting my memories. So, in one of the lectures that I heard after coming to Krishna consciousness, it is said that, wherever Prabhupada's book are like present, that is like a potent, like way of like hooking that person into Krishna consciousness. So that's how it happened in our house also at Delhi. So my father somehow he had Srila Prabhupada books, Bhagavad Gita, and some of the volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam. So whenever I got bored from my studies or like I wanted to take a break, so I just used to go to the like book cabinet section, and I just used to browse through a variety of books. One amongst them was these Bhagavad Gita, and I was really hooked by the pictures. They really spoke to me. Like as it is said that it is like these pictures are the window to the spiritual world. So somehow I was very much attached and attracted to this, seeing these pictures in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And so I little bit had a recollection of that, and it stayed with me, the Maha Mantra, and like Prabhupada being the founder Acharya of ISKCON. So later on, when I went to do my master's in another state, so I was looking for like whether some ISKCON is there, but I could not find much association or in the vicinity of the campus and everything. So it was to the later end of my master's, I found out there is an ISKCON, which is a little bit far. And, but I was too shy and reserved to go and approach and ask. So basically in our hostel, we had time restrictions and regulations for like Matajis. Like 7:30 was the end, like we have to enter into the gates. And the program and ISKCON, like Sandhya Aarti, used to happen at 7 o'clock, 7 to 7:30. So we used to rush, attend some program, like twice or thrice I could attend, and then get prasadam and then rush back. So no time for like, getting association or like that. So my only kind of spiritual outlet was watching some of the videos. So I could get hold of the download of the darshan, um, the book, the video part. Like, so there is a darshan YouTube video which I could download it, and I used to see all the deities of ISKCON. So recollect. So that was my main like connection with ISKCON before. And during the end phase of my masters, I came to know that okay, ISKCON Mayapur is the headquarters of like the entire ISKCON worldwide body. And so there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace is in Mayapur. And somehow there was a professor of genetic engineering there whose name was Chaitanya Joshi. So every time I used to hear his lectures, I used to recollect, okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Mayapur. So that seed was present there before. And when I was applying and sort of thinking to go for my PhD degree, so I had a very good guide in the masters who was very well renowned in his field, and he gave me an opportunity to pursue PhD in the same department where I was doing that. And I had an opportunity to go abroad as well for pursuing that. But somehow here, Krishna had other plans probably for me. So my friend, she had joined IIT Kharagpur PhD, and she was insisting me that you please just come to apply here and let's wait for the result and let's see how things unravel. So basically, I was hesitant to apply because I had heard a lot of negative experiences about Havda station and how Bengalis are, and mas, machli, and everything. So that sort of like put me off, and but because she was insisting, I applied and I gave the interview, and I got selected. But I was little bit apprehensive of opting for IIT Kharagpur. The first thing when I found out that probably I might get selected was to search in the internet, okay, how far is ISKCON Mayapur from IIT Kharagpur? So that was my kind of motivation to go into IIT Kharagpur. Like, okay, I might get a chance to somehow visit ISKCON Mayapur sometime later. That kind of pulled me to, okay, I can go there. Probably sometime I can visit ISKCON Mayapur. So that's how I joined IIT Kharagpur. And my parents were also favorable. Okay, you're going into IIT, so that's a good, wise career decision, for you. So they were also favorable. And then coming here, so I was kind of looking for some Krishna temple, nearby. But unfortunately, within the campus, outside the campus, there was no kind of temples. So only I could find through some of the local students, like my colleagues, that there is a Chaitanya Mutt little bit far away. So somehow or the other, we used to go, not very often, maybe once a month or maybe once in 2 months, something like that. So, and I'm very grateful to Baman Maharaj there. He gave a lot of spiritual nourishment through prasadam, through words. Yeah, and he was always appreciative of ISKCON and ISKCON devotees. And one of my colleagues, he was some sort of a devotee, but not very much like 100% into bass or connected to voice. And he had some previous experience with ISKCON, and he knew, and he was also actively searching for association here. And then he, few months of searching, he came to know that there is a voice center here. And then he relayed the news to me that, but it's open only for Prabhus. It's not, entry is banned for girls. So so I took it okay, very personally, that Matajis are like now reaching to the moon, astronaut, this, that, and so how come, like, to get association of devotees or to get mercy of Krishna just because you are in a female body, it's not possible. So yeah, I was very surprised by that. And still somehow, for 1 year, I was waiting to go into Mayapur, but pleasant surprise came when we went to Kolkata for one exam for professorship, so qualification to be a professor. So we went there, we attended that, we gave that exam, and suddenly he told that, I'm going to ISKCON Mayapur. I just jumped at the idea, okay, if you are going, and few other friends were there, that we will all go to Mayapur. And we did not know the means to travel and get there and reach there. But somehow we just called and got directions and reached, and I could see ISKCON Mayapur for half a day and then return back. So the next day. So that was my first visit to ISKCON Mayapur. And there he told that, you should chant. There are something called as bead bags, and this japa mala is there. And so I did my first chanting there in ISKCON Mayapur in front of deities. And yeah, so that was also a very unique experience, exhilarating experience for me. So now when I like recollect and refresh those memories, as Revati Prabhu was telling, so these are one of the sweetest memories of entering into Krishna consciousness. So yeah, so basically yeah, then I got some association in form of my another colleague who was associated with bass center, voice center, and Murlidhar Prabhu. So he was my senior in my department, and he told that there is a program in a Grahastha house outside IIT campus wherein they are doing the altar installation. Would you like to join? And he told that you can come there. I'll take you along with other few other Matajis. So we all went there. So that's the first time where I saw ISKCON, like devotees with tilak and like, saffron devotees. So I was very much like pleasantly surprised as well as very happy and elated to get that experience. And lot many things happened that after I went to, before I went to ISKCON Mayapur the first time, I attended Ganga Sagar Mela. So, and I was already wearing tulsi beads without knowing the significance of what it is. I just knew that it is somehow connected to Krishna. I did not know that this is tulsi beads, what is its significance, and what about the rules and regulation. I just wore it because I saw it. It's sold outside the Vishnu temples. So, and when I went to Ganga Sagar Mela with few of my friends, so at that time, the tulsi beads just fell in the lap of Ganges, and I was like feeling very much like down that, oh, some kind of offense has happened. That's why tulsi mala went, and somehow before that only a fortnight I got to know that these are tulsi mala, and yeah. So, and after that point of time, within a short frame, I went to ISKCON Mayapur, got association, got connected with devotees. And yeah, my professor, he organized a Ram Navami celebration there, and in which he invited His Grace Sankitan Prabhu to give a lecture and Pushpa Abhishek, and few other professors also did. So I could attend that program, and I saw, okay, how devotees are and what is their, lifestyle and what they talk about and what they do and everything. But upon introspection, I came to know that, yes, there is professor programs happening, some sort of preaching happening for the students, boys students, and Grahastha preaching happening outside IIT. But there's nothing for Matajis. So I was feeling really bad about that. Then I was like, okay, finally, Krishna, what are you going to do about this? So, so somehow Krishna was very merciful, and soon after that, Krishna Prabhu got married, and Mataji came and stayed in the married quarters, Ishwari Radhika Mataji, Krishna Prabhu. Yeah. So, and incidentally, what happened is our PhD building for the girls, it was in construction stage, and we were allotted married quarters. All the PhD girls, few of the PhD girls, and she was also present in another block, and I got a call from my senior that, there's one Mataji, she's very welcoming and she wants to take a class for all the girls who are willing and interested. Would you like to join? That's how I got connected and really relished the association. I'm really grateful and indebted to Krishna Prabhu, His Grace Krishna Prabhu, and Her Grace Ishwari Radhika Mataji was for nourishing me, for taking care of me spiritually, and also giving their valuable time and sacrificing so much for our spiritual upliftment. Yeah. So that's how I got connected. And after they left for their postdoc degree in Singapore, there was a time lag where we did not get any association or any spiritual, uh, yeah, with devotees, sangha with devotees. And for 1.5 years, we were on our own few devotee Matajis. And post that, His Grace Sankitan Prabhu he inquired about us. What is happening with the girls preaching and girls' voice? Are there someone to take care of them? And then he got the news and he really connected us with a family preaching program. So so afterwards we got connected to the family preaching, and yeah, so we got association of the Grahastha families inside IIT, outside IIT, and yeah. So this is just a foray into Krishna consciousness, and yeah, I'm really humbled and thankful to all of you, senior exemplary Vaishnavas, and to hear your stories of dedication, courage, sacrifice, and so I feel that yeah, so much things to learn from and be inspired from, and really humbled to hear from all of you and take all of your blessings. Please, I really sincerely pray and beg for forgiveness for taking too much of your time. And I really pray that you will bless us into this journey of Krishna consciousness moving ahead. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Govinda Prabhu and Mataji, for your wonderful association and wonderful sharing the nectar of your coming to Krishna consciousness. So we look forward for your association in future. Yeah? Hari Om. Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam class ki jai. His Grace Shri Govinda Prabhu ki jai. So now there's prasadam for everybody. So for the Kharagpur alumni, so there is prasadam in the corner hall. So you can